Okay, everyone, it's time for math. We're doing a lesson 7.11 today called Fractions in a Number Story, which means we're going to be dealing with word problems. Now, some of you might be freaking out a little bit because word problems are always hard for me. The reading is hard. Well, you know the guide to solving number stories. You know how to think, find out what you know, what you need to know, and how you're going to plan how you're going to find out. You also know all about fraction circles, fraction strips, number lines, and you know how to draw. So I think you're going to be okay if you take your time and make sure that you're being careful in your reading. First of all, I'm going to do an example for you. So I have a story here that involves fractions and sharing, equal shares. Here it is. 4 friends are going to share 5 granola bars equally. How much will each friend get? 4 friends share 5 granola bars, and it has to be shared equally. How much will each person get? Okay, so I'm going to think about that for a minute. I'm going to let myself think about it. I know there are 4 friends, and there are 5 granola bars, and I want to find out how much each person's going to get, and what's my plan. You know, I just think this is going to be easiest if I draw it out. I could try and keep it in my head, but for figuring out fractions, I really like to draw things. So first I'm going to think about drawing the granola bars, and I know there are 5 of them. So I'll draw 5 granola bars, and there are 4 people. So if I was sharing one granola bar with 4 people, I would cut it into 4 pieces. So I think I'm going to go ahead and divide each of those granola bars into 4 pieces. So this is what I did. Here's one granola bar, and there are 4 pieces, one for each person. Another one, 4 pieces, one for each person. So each person is going to get a piece of each of these granola bars. Maybe they're different kinds, and that's why I want to do it that way. Okay? So one person is going to get a 1/4 of this, 1/4 of this, 1/4 of that, this, and that. So my number model is going to be 1/4 of the first granola bar, 1/4 of the second granola bar, 1/4 of the third, 1/4 of the fourth, and 1/4 of the fifth. So that's my number sentence. Okay? And that makes it 1/4 plus 1/4 and 1/4 and 1/4 and 1/4 makes 5 fourths altogether. So that answer of 5 fourths is an improper fraction, and it might have a few of you thinking about possibly an easier way to do this, because you know that if this number is larger, the numerator is larger than the denominator, that this is more than 1 whole granola bar, isn't it? 4 fourths is 1 whole granola bar. So another way I could do this, which might be the first way you thought of it, we've got 4 people, right? So each person gets 1 granola bar. And then this last one here, I'm going to divide into 4 pieces and share that one. So one person will get one of these and a piece of this. So each person gets 1 granola bar and 1/4 more, which actually is the same as 5 fourths, but that might be a 4th grade thing you get into. Okay, so those are 2 different ways that I can solve that problem. Now we're going to move on to your math journal, page 246. So go ahead and get that one. And I'm going to get you started on that, because you might be a little intimidated. If you know what intimidated means, that means you're freaked out about it. Think you're not going to be able to do it, but you are. Okay, so we're going to use fraction circles, fraction strips, number lines, or pictures to help solve the number stories. And you need to make some sketches in your book for me to see, okay? All right, there's a place where it says My Sketch under each problem. Page 246 in your math journal. And we're going to go ahead and read number 1 together. Follow with me. Tanya watched the whole football game. Micah watched a fourth of the game. And Alma watched 3/4 of the game. Who watched the shortest amount of the game? Now, your sketch is going to be of what you're most comfortable with. And you need to decide what tool you're going to use to be your whole. You might choose the circles and draw a circle, and then 1/4 of the circle is Micah's portion, and Alma has 3/4 of the circle. The circle would be the whole of the football game. So you can use your circles, that whole circle, to pretend it's a whole football game. Or you can use a whole fraction strip. Go to your fraction strip poster. Find the fourths. Use a number line. 0 to 1 is the whole football game. Then if you're doing fourths, you're going to partition it into fourths. I think I'll do that one for you. If you're going to use a number line, okay, you have 0 and 1. And I'm going to mark it like we've done before. The whole is this portion from 0 to 1, and I'm going to use that to pretend to be the football game. Now, the portions are in fourths, so I'm going to divide my number line into 4 equal parts. And some of you are pretty messy with this on the stuff you send to me. I want you to neaten that up a little bit. Okay, that's called being respectful of yourself, your knowledge, and being respectful of your teacher. So you slow down and draw neatly for me. Okay, some of that has been a really big mess coming back to me. All right, so when you have your neatest number line done, then you can label that into fourths. So this is 1/4. Oh, the beginning is 0/4, so we know that. 2/4, 3/4, and 1 whole is 4/4. Now, Tanya watched the whole football game. Micah watched 1/4 of the game. Okay, I see where Micah would be. I know where I'd put Tanya's dot too. And Alma watched 3/4. So who watched the shortest amount of the football game? Make your sketch and then put your answer down. And it looks like it's going to be a person's name for number 1. All right, number 2. Put your finger down on number 2. We're going to look at that one. Caden makes 2 cups of salsa for the party. The 6 guests share the salsa equally. Write a fraction that shows how much each guest eats. Well, I'm not sure I would count a fraction circle is going to work for this, and I don't know how I'd do a number line. I think I'll just go with drawing it. 2 cups of salsa. So here's 1 cup of salsa. And here's another cup of salsa. And there are 6 guests. So how are you going to make lines in your cups of salsa for 6 guests? Could do 6 lines here and 6 lines. I better not tell you, because you can probably come up with that yourself. So make your sketch, a neat sketch that's dark enough for me to see, and you're going to write what fraction of a cup of salsa they get. Okay, and number 3, I'm going to let you just do on your own. Okay, so your assignment today is Math Journal, page 246. And then I would also like you to do Math Journal, page 248, the math boxes. Number 1, partition to show fourths. That kind of goes with what the problem we were just doing. Number 2, it says circle names. That means there's more than one answer. Write a different name for 42. Number 3, greater than, less than, or equal to. Number 4 is an in and out box with time. And number 5, how do you compare fractions with the same numerator in problem 3? Okay, so let me know your thinking for number 5. All right, so 2 pages, 246 done neatly and 248 done neatly. Thank you to those who are sending in very neat work. It makes it much easier for me to correct and makes it easier for me to explain to you what you need to fix. All right, have a good day.